Hello everyone. In this video I'll be translating and summarizing the latest Urdu broadcast by Aftab Iqbal to make it accessible for our English-speaking audience. Let's go through the key developments and insights in Aftab Iqbal's words. I had mentioned yesterday that for the next few days you will continuously find references to the war in my vlogs, the Pakistan-India war. I had no doubt about it from the very first day, neither I nor many of my friends. Now, countless new people have joined us as companions in this journey. I gave a detailed account of it yesterday. Today, my topic is indirectly related to the war. The main point I'm going to discuss is what changes will occur as a result of this war. What transformations will take place that the world will witness? Naturally, there will be numerous things about which you will ask. How will this happen? How is this possible? No. You can't scientifically prove everything. Like you said, Mr. Aftab, the clouds of war are nowhere to be seen. So how will the war happen? Especially between these two nuclear-armed countries, how can this be possible? But then, history unfolded right before our eyes. You saw it happen. Likewise, what I'm about to say should be taken as a teaser. It's like an unfolding story or a Pandora's box that is slowly opening. Before it fully opens, there will be subtle grating noises, like the sound of an old chest opening. We will use this here as a teaser, or you can think of it as the sound of a door opening at the start of a horror scene, which shatters the silence and makes the viewer jump out of their seat. That's exactly what teasers do. So for now, consider it as a teaser. Do not go into the details right away. Gradually, one by one, you will start to understand and the mysteries will start to open up on their own. Many things will become clearer, but for now, clarity is not the goal. Even if I clarify things, you won't understand them yet. Believe me, there are many things I don't fully understand either, but this process continues. There are massive schemes in the world. This is what the world is all about. It keeps moving forward. Before I delve into the list of what events may unfold, what changes may occur, let me first emphasize one thing. This war is not an ordinary war. Yes, it may be between just two countries, but the consequences are so disastrous and widespread that even if both world wars are combined, they won't have the same impact that this war will have. Though it will be a long-duration war, this will be a comparatively very short one. It's a matter of impact and scale. The scale is small, but the impact is huge. I have one restriction, and that is to keep things brief, but as much as I can, I will try to do so. If you don't want to watch, then it's your choice. If you don't have time, then it's not my fault. I'm trying to explain the scale and impact. Here's a small example for you to consider. Countless disasters, floods, diseases, famines, earthquakes have caused many deaths. But when you accumulate those numbers, it reaches the millions. You see the scale, how many countries were affected, but the impact was very little. Millions of deaths did not have the same impact as the 3,000 deaths in 9/11. It was a one-day event, but look at the impact it had. It completely changed the world. Similarly, this war will also change the world. Keep this in mind. First, unnecessary questions will not be answered. Please infer things for yourself and keep connecting the dots. In my next vlog, since I've started this process, I will continue connecting the dots as I go along. Whatever will be understood and revealed, I will present it to you. All right, let me give you a quick overview of what changes are expected in Pakistan as a result of this war, just to save a bit of time. Most of these things, you can easily connect the dots yourself, except for 2 points, the last two. One is, well, extremely tragic, and the other is, surprisingly, quite amazing. These are points 5 and 6. I think I've listed them in that order. The rest will become clear as I explain. After this, there will be a whole series of international events that will unfold, almost like a chain reaction. I'll shed a little light on these, but I won't go into too much detail because, as Zafar Iqbal said, it's the end of the line. And honestly, brevity is the best choice here. First and foremost, I've mentioned several times before that our old, outdated, stagnant system that's been in place for the last 80 years is about to collapse. I've said this multiple times and, some people still ask about it. These days I read the comments regularly and people still ask, are you still sure about what you said? Yes, I am. This is not something uncertain, it's already understood. This system will fall. When I say it will fall, I mean everything within it. I'm not talking about the small political pettiness, but the big level issues. Number two, regarding political parties, all of them will be wiped out. They're just awaiting a tsunami and it will sweep them away like dry leaves. Number three, the corrupt, incompetent bureaucracy, the symbol of uselessness, will disappear forever. Number four, new blocs will form. This is something I'll discuss in a bit more detail later. It's not only relevant to Pakistan, but also has international implications. Number five, if the war happens, as I believe it will, then one of the most troubling concerns I've been raising for a long time is the character of Imran Khan. In this war, somehow, Imran might be at risk. He may face severe danger. This isn't something new. I've mentioned it in several vlogs over the last few months. Please, go back and check them if you like. So, this will be one of the major events of the change. We can't get into the details as we just don't know. I don't personally know what will happen. But as things unfold, you'll see it. May Allah bless Imran with a long life. If his leadership is the destiny of Pakistan, then may Allah grant it. If not, then let's accept it. I've said this multiple times, be ready for patience and gratitude, knowing that Khan has done what no one else could have done. The final point. As a result of this war, the Kashmir issue will be resolved once and for all. The Kashmir issue will be solved. These were two issues that the British sowed when colonialism was ending. Two seeds of discord were planted, one in Kashmir and one in Palestine. Countless books have been written on these issues by intellectuals, diplomats and journalists, all saying that these two issues can never be resolved without war. No matter how many Shimla agreements you make, how many Camp David Accords or how many Abraham Accords, these issues will never be solved without war. So, the Kashmir issue will likely be resolved soon because this war is deeply connected to it. We'll deal with Palestine later. The Kashmir issue's resolution means that we no longer need the Indus Water Treaty. If the Kashmir issue is resolved, what will be the purpose of the Indus Basin Treaty? There's no need for it if the Kashmir issue is solved. How will it be resolved? What factors will be involved? Time will tell. Shankar Sahib said today that it is our right to take whatever action we deem necessary against terrorism. In other words, do whatever we need to do. We will carry out surgical strikes, we will do this, we will do that. So you are prepared, they are prepared, everyone is prepared. What will the result of this be? We won't go into that, time will tell. Because this was unnecessary. I don't need to become Nostradamus. I think you are also not interested. You should just connect the dots, observe things, instead of trying to read horoscopes or start predicting what will happen, what won't happen, and how far things are. The distance is just a few days away. Okay, this was the matter concerning Pakistan. Now, regarding international circumstances, since there is a deep connection, bloc politics is involved. You've read about the world being divided into blocs. We will talk more about that later. Some of you might have heard of the idea of the world being divided into global north and global south, with one side being America and the other being China. The truth is, things have progressed much further. It's with great regret that I have to say that when our teachers start talking like this, it feels like they are speaking childishly. But then, time will tell. It is possible that our teachers will also realize that the distinction between global north and global south has changed. It used to be like that, and you'll remember that the terms north-south lasted a long time. You must also recall the terms third world, developing world, underdeveloped world, or the first world, which were all highly developed. These are all things of the past. Time has passed. Now let's move forward. The bloc politics that is about to unfold, let's talk about that. But before we go there, let me tell you again, and it will be repeated often, that in the aftermath of this war, you will witness things that, to the best of my knowledge, and I swear under oath, you haven't seen in the entire last millennium combined. Even the most important events of the last 1,000 years together do not equal 50% of what you will see in the coming period. Keep thinking, reflect, and connect the dots. This is a huge transformation. The scale is so small, yet you're saying this war won't spill over. The Soviets are not visible, the Western world is not visible, even if it's just a small war between two countries and not that long. I've already mentioned that this war will not last longer than a month. A month, max. It will last 20, 22 or 23 days at the most. Beyond that, it will not go. I'm saying this because in just 1 month, the changes that will occur will be things you haven't seen in the entire millennium. Now, you should understand why I have started giving so much importance to this war. I am not a war reporter. Yes, war is a subject I have studied deeply, but I never gave it so much importance until now because this future war wasn't in my parameters. Since it has emerged, the process of reflection has begun. Gradually things will become clearer. So, what is this block? I will present the first episode of it now and I'll go into more details later, maybe in a month, or in 15 days, or maybe in a week. Gradually things will start to unfold. You remember the descendants of Prophet Noah, peace be upon him, Ham, Sam and Japheth, or Japhaz as he is also called. The descendants of Ham are the Europeans, especially Eastern Europeans who later migrated to America and Australia. They are the Hamites. Sam's descendants are the Semites, to which we belong. The Middle East and Africa are the descendants of Sam. The third son, Japheth, is the ancestor of nations like China, Russia, and the surrounding areas. These three lineages will play a central role in the formation of the next world order, which is divided into 3 blocks. For now, let's focus on one block, the Hamites, which will be led by America. But remember, the America of today doesn't necessarily have to be a democracy. How that will unfold, I have discussed before. Look back at my previous discussions. Observe closely. The political situation in America today is such that they are considering laws that could strip American citizens of their citizenship for any act of law-breaking. And law-breaking could mean anything. They can point at anyone and say, he broke the law. Even Donald Trump has seriously started saying that he is considering deporting Elon Musk. Along with that, there is a major change happening, the abolition of monarchies around the world. This dynastic politics where, if a father is in power, his son will succeed him, will come to an end once and for all. And I am repeatedly saying that this will happen very soon and you will witness it with your own eyes. So, one bloc led by America will consist of the Hamites and Europe will always support them as they always have. The second bloc will be the Semitic bloc, which will be our bloc. You have to realize this and keep connecting the dots. The borders between countries that have never merged will begin to fade away. You may have never seen this before, and you probably never read about it either. The first major experience of merging borders after antiquity was the Roman Empire. As the Romans expanded, many countries were united under the banner of Rome. After that, when the Islamic Empire rose, many nations joined under the flag of Islam. Similarly, the Ottoman Empire expanded and the Mughal Empire conquered the entire subcontinent, but they didn't go beyond that. The Soviets expanded a little and the British colonies formed, but they never became one cohesive state. The British colonies were just under British influence, they were never merged. You will now see something unprecedented. The borders from Indonesia to Morocco and from the Middle East to Africa will begin to merge. This major change will be a result of this war. There are many more changes that will occur, but as I mentioned before, step by step, I will avoid overwhelming you. The goal is not to shock you immediately or give you a quick thrill. Instead, think positively, observe things carefully, and don't believe in hearsay. Start contemplating and make it a habit. And if ever it's suggested that you take precautionary measures this time, make sure you listen carefully. That wraps up our translation of Aftab Iqbal's video. I hope this English version helped you understand his message better. Please like, share and subscribe to Awami Lens to help our community grow. Don't forget to leave a comment below and let me know what you thought of this effort.